Rusty Eggers watched on the TV in his penthouse. Gavin stood behind him. Rusty's two top aides, Jan Schnall, one-time chief of staff to South Carolina's Republican governor, and Leah Capasso, a campaign manager for two Democratic senators, sat on the couch taking notes. The crawl on the bottom of the screen unimaginatively screamed in red caps, "Breaking news, shocking Rusty Eggers video." Anchorman Scott Gillette. The video is believed to be 10 years old from season 1 of The Rusty Show. "They got that part right, at least," Rusty said. The young woman is Candy Pate, the young star of the hit kid comedy Amazing Darcy, who did 3 guest appearances on The Rusty Show that season. At the time of this taping, she would have been 16 or 17 years old, while Rusty Eggers would have been in his mid-40s. Again, we caution, this story is breaking. While the video appears to be authentic, we have not yet independently authenticated. Not that that will slow the jackals down, Rusty said. Gavin noticed that Rusty seemed remarkably calm. His two aides did not. On the video, Rusty Eggers has his arm around Candy Pate on a couch. Candy seems to cringe at his touch. Rusty Eggers. "Most guys your age don't know what they're doing. Sexually, I mean. You know what I'm saying?" Candy Pate. "Uh-huh. My agent is waiting downstairs." Rusty. "I don't think your agent is doing right by you." Candy. "She's gotten me this far." Rusty. "Kitty rolls. You're a full-grown woman now, and so talented." Candy. "Thank you." Rusty. "Why don't you come by my hotel room tonight, and we can talk more about it." Candy. "Tonight? I'm not sure." And then Rusty Eggers kisses her hard on the mouth. "Look," Rusty gestured to the screen. "She's not exactly fighting back, is she?" But she wasn't exactly pulling him closer either. Rusty's two female aides blanched. Gavin asked, "Do you know where this was taped?" "Looks like Maynard's New York studio," Rusty said. The kiss ends. Candy Pate quickly stands, smooths her skirt, wipes her mouth with the back of her hand. She forces a smile. Candy. "I have to go now." Rusty. "Tonight then? 9 o'clock? We'll just talk." Candy rushes out of the room. Rusty turned away from the television and looked at his two aides. "To answer your first question, yes, she showed up that night." Anchorman Scott Gillette. Candy Pate ended up being fired from the Rusty Show for what was rumored to be drug use and insubordination, but we have our expert panel with us, who now wonder about the veracity of those rumors, and if she was victim of... Rusty flipped off the television. "Expert panel," he repeated. "Give me a break." He rubbed his hands together. Leah Capasso looked up in a daze. "You have the bots ready?" "They're on standby," Leah said. "Good." Rusty began to pace. "So get the first group of them to claim that this tape was a teaching demonstration." Teaching demonstration? Yes. That's why we filmed it. Candy and I were acting out inappropriate workplace behavior so that anyone employed by the Rusty Show would know that we would have zero tolerance for this kind of thing." Jan Schnall said, "You think that will fly?" "That's just bot group 1, Jan. For bot group 2, we say that Candy was working on a Me Too screenplay. Way ahead of her time. She asked me to act out a scene with her. Leah, get our graphic design people to create a screenplay with this exact dialogue. Use one of the big screenwriting programs from 10 years ago. Final Draft or Movie Magic, maybe. Tell them to add a page of dialogue before, a page of dialogue after, that kind of thing. Make it look legit. Then we leak it as the unproduced manuscript Candy Pate hoped to develop before her career hit the rails." Leah jotted that down. "Got it. We say that as a mentor figure to many young people who appeared on my show, I was trying to be supportive in reading these lines with her, but I was clearly uncomfortable in what she wanted me to do. Jan, get a few body language experts to insist that I'm clearly acting and I look hesitant during the pretend kiss." "Right. Next, we go right and left. Jan, Get some right-wing bots to say stuff like, how come the left is always into sexual freedom and women making their own choices, and now they're saying that Candy Pate is too weak to decide who to date, that kind of thing. Then, Leah, get the left-wing bots to say, we don't belong in people's bedrooms, and this mature woman should be able to make her own choices. You know the drill. Do you guys know the age of consent in New York? Leah tapped something into her iPad. 17. California? 18. He thought about it. We also have an office in Toronto. How about there? Leah typed some more. It was 14, now it's 16. Okay, cool. Let's spread another rumor that this happened in our Toronto office. We also get another group of fake profiles to raise the Macho Man excuse. Jan frowned. Macho Man? You know, like what red-blooded all-American male wouldn't make a move on a hot piece of ass like Candy Pate? And all the whiny babies online are just jealous of a real man, that kind of thing. They should all keep repeating that Candy was of legal age. Leah and Jan both nodded, warming slightly to the task. Gavin just watched in silence. Finally, let's get the fake news groups to say the tape had obviously been doctored. Again, we have those social media accounts with various levels of... Rusty made quote marks with his fingers. Expertise, right? Let's get them to work up the conspiracy nuts. Have them notice, I don't know, some kind of irregular shadows in the film and claim that it's a clear Photoshop job or that the sound is off. Have them make up those YouTube videos where they circle stuff and say, whoa, this shadow or whatever can't be, someone had to have tampered with it, yada yada. Oh, then get a few voice experts to say that it's not my voice, that it is someone doing a bad impression. Have some of the bots say it sounds like it was spliced from old footage or something. With me? With you, Leah said. Jan added, that's perfect. Neither woman was blanching anymore. They were both, in fact, smiling. Then, I want our own bots fighting with each other. Who cares if it's a Photoshop, it's totally legal anyway, or stop worrying about the ethics, the tape is fake news, it never happened. Leah asked, you want to go with all these? All these, and let's come up with a few more, like, why don't the networks show what happened before this? Like when Candy Pate was hitting on Rusty. Oh, that's good. Let's get a group posting, here's a link to the whole tape where you can see Candy is aggressively making moves on Rusty, and he's trying to back off. Why don't they show that? But then, oh, I'm loving this. The link will lead to an error message, and then the bots will claim the mainstream media or the government took it down. It's a cover-up, they'll scream. Full bot attack. Get the right and left-wing ones on that. I want people fighting over how we can't blame me for any of this. Love that, Leah said. And then, let's do the standard attack the process. You know, the real crime isn't on the tape. The real crime is who illegally taped us. What awful partisan with a clear axe to grind broke into my office and unlawfully spied on me. Those are the real criminals. Why are powerful people willing to break laws to stop my message from reaching the people? Oh, that's good, Jan said. Right? Also, Leah, have one of our lawyers reach out to Candy. Remind her of the non-disclosure agreement she signed. She's not allowed to say anything. If she does, we will destroy her 100 different ways. If she backs us, let her know that we are financing a new film, which we think will be a great comeback role for her. Got it, Leah said. One question, Jan said. Shoot. The media is going nuts right now looking for a comment. What do we put in our official press statement? Nothing yet. Let's wait and see what social media looks like in a few hours. We should know better then. My guess is our statement will be pretty vague. Something like, we will not comment because we do not want to harm the reputation of Ms. Pate, who is a fine person and vulnerable mentee, and we find it disgusting that the media would drag her through the mud like this just to get some additional clicks, and we won't participate in that kind of gossipy trash. although it is clearly not what it is being made out to be, that sort of thing. But not yet. I want to see which story takes root. Let's get the talking points to our people so they can get on the air ASAP. We need to keep seeding confusion here, people. On it, Leah said. The two women took to their phones.